Dear students, very good afternoon. Myself, Professor Subramanya Bhagwat, your computer science coordinator. Welcome back to Management Entrepreneurship for IT industry. I was explaining you about planning. If you observe the syllabus copy, planning, nature, importance of planning, types of planning, and steps in planning, next organizing, these are all the very important concepts. Next, regarding planning, okay, what is planning? How do you define the planning? Planning is deciding in advance what to do, how to do, when to do, who has to do that things. All these things deciding early is known as planning. Objectives in planning, we are going to study about importance of planning, types of planning, steps in planning. After studying this, next I am going to explain you about organizing, nature and purpose of organization, types of organizations. Then stopping, meaning, process of recruitment and selections, we are going to study now. We study about planning. What is the nature of planning? Planning is the beginning of the process of the management. Planning. Suppose if you want to build a building, directly will you start to build a building? No, no, no. What you do? You will make on a planning, what I call blueprint. Planning, you will do it. Am I correct? Because when a planning is correct, then everything will be perfect. So planning is the function of the manager in which he decides in advance what he will do. It is a decision making process of a special kind. It is an intellectual process in which creative mind and imaginations are essentials. Am I right? Because you are not planned means you are planned to fail. Am I correct? So, planning is the beginning of the process of the management. Planning is an intellectual process, and I call it as it's a continuous process. Let me explain this nature of plannings very perfectly. Planning is the beginning of the process of the management. A manager must plan before he can possibly organize, stop, direct, or control. Will you agree my point? Planning sets all other functions into actions. Planning is the most basic function of a management. Planning is a rational approach for defining where one stands, where one wants to go in future, and how to reach there. This is the first point. Planning is the beginning of the process. Suppose you will plan to join Infosys or TCS, IBM. What do you do? Next, you will make a planning. Planning says, okay, how much percentage is first class is entry for MNCs. So you will plan. You have to score first class. Then how to plan that thing? How to score first class? You will plan. You will attend classes or online, offline, whatever it may be, and you will solve question papers. You will study how to write the answers. Everything you will plan. Am I right? Next, projects, seminars, everything, how to get good marks, everything you will plan. So planning is the beginning of the process of management. There's a very important nature. Planning is an intellectual process. Second point, planning is an intellectual process. How do you define planning is an intellectual process? Planning requires a manager to think before acting. Will you agree my point? Think before acting. It is thinking in advance. It is a planning by planning managers of organization decides what is to be done, when is to be done, how is to be done, and how has to do it. Decision making is an integral part of planning. So it is a process of choosing among the alternatives. Am I right? Obviously, decision making will occur at many points in the planning process. Next, planning is a very continuous process. Planning is a continuous process, like what I call constantly checks how much progress report, what I call progress report, how much we have done, how much is pending. Constantly watch the progress of planning. Okay, manager must constantly monitor the conditions both within and outside the organization. That's called continuous process. Next is plan must be flexible. It's like this, you cannot, no need to change the ship, you can change the direction of ship. Same way, no need to, yeah, no need to change the direction, change the boat, you can change the direction of boat so that you can achieve. No need to change the, what I call, goal, change the plan, or so plan must be flexible. Flexibility of a plan means what I call ability to change the direction, to adapt to changing situations without undue cost. For example, now COVID-19 is the regular classes we cannot conduct, but online we can do it. Or some other things we can plan the things. The plans must be flexible to adapt to changes in the technology, market, finance, personal, organizational practice. Flexibility is in technology means that mechanical ability of a company to change and vary its product mix according to changing needs of the customers. Okay. Now next one is it's all what I call all pervasive function. Planning is a pervasive and it extends to throughput of organizations. Planning is the fundamental management function in any manager irrespective of level has a planning function to perform within its particular area of activities. Next very important things what I call yeah wait yeah importance of planning. What is the importance of planning? First one is minimizes risk and uncertainty. By providing a more rational, fact-based procedure for making decisions, planning allows managers and organizations to minimize the risk and uncertainties. Planning doesn't deal with what I call future decisions, but in futurity of present decisions. If a manager doesn't make any provision for the replacement of plant, machinery, or problems he will have to face after 10 years can well be imagined. The manager has what I call feeling of being in control if he has anticipated some of the possible consequences and planned for them. So minimize the risk and uncertainty. If you plan properly, we can minimize the risk and uncertainties. Then the second one is leads to success. What is it lead to success? Planning doesn't guarantee success, but studies have shown that uh, often things being equal, companies which plan not only outperform the non-planners but also their past results. You see here, if you study hard, you may get success, percentage, good percentage, or sometimes question paper may tough, or you may not get good percentage. But if you don't study hard, definitely chances of getting failure, chances of getting less marks is high. So, if you plan that things, it leads to success. You are on the way to success. Next one, focus attention the organization's goals. Planning is very important. Is focus attentions of the organization's goals. Goals are very important actually. Planning helps the manager to focus attention on the organization goals and activities. This makes it easier to apply, coordinate, and the resources of organizations more economically actually. Next one, facilitates control. In planning, the manager sets the goals. Will you agree my point? Yeah. And develops the plans to accomplish the goals. These goals plans then become a standard against which performance can be measured. The function controls to ensure that activities conform to the plans. Thus, the control can be exercised only if there is a plan. There are the plans. Next, last one is trains executives. Planning is also an excellent means for training executives. They become involved in the activities of the organizations and the plans, what I call their interest in the aspects, in their interest. So train executives. We can train them executives. This is one of the important importance of planning. Next, types of plans. Planning can take many forms, styles in practice. Planning can be comprehensive or limited in scope. There are organizations, what I call, there are organizations that plan to the last details. Other regions contain simply broad targets of the next financial period. Strategic planning. What is the strategic planning? What are different types of planning? Strategic plan. Strategic planning means what I call sets future directions of the organizations in which it wants to proceed in future. It involves deciding what the major goals of the entire organizations will be and what policies will guide the organization in its what I call strategy. Okay, strategic planning involves time horizon for more than 1 year, and for most of the organizations, it ranges between 5 to 10 years. So I call it as strategic planning. What is a strategic plan? Like after 5 years, where do you want to be there? Okay, next, what you want to do after 5 years or 10 years? Okay, normally businesses plans they will do like this. Next one is tactical plan. What is this tactical plan? Tactical planning involves deciding specially how the resources of the organizations will be used help the organizations to achieve these strategic goals. For example, if the organization has prepared a 10-year strategic plan which advises profit rate of 25% on capital employed in the 10th year, it also necessitates to prepare a more detailed tactical plan for the next year with specific target of 10% on the capital employed. So I'll tell you. If you make two parts here, one part is strategical planning, first one, okay. Yes, I call this is a strategic planning. This is yeah, tactical planning. This is a technical planning. What are the differences? First difference in strategic planning, decide the major goals and policies of the location of resource to achieve these goals. Okay. Second, here decide the detailed use of resources for achieving goals. Detailed use will be available in technical plan. Second point, done at higher level of management. Done at higher level of management. Middle managers are not even aware that strategic planning being considered, but it is done at a lower level of management. That is the one of the tactical plannings. Next, last difference is a long term. Strategic planning is a long term, while tactical planning is short. I think difference is very clear to you. I have given notes also. You can refer that also. No problem. Yeah. Wait. Next one. Okay. Wait for 2 minutes. Yeah. Next, I have given you, yeah, notes also. You can refer that also. There, okay, you see importance of planning. Okay, he has very clearly told minimize the risk and uncertainty, lead to success. Focus, focus attentions on the organization's goals, facilities to control, trains executives. We are told. We have studied. Next one is steps in planning. What are the steps in planning? That's very important question. Is steps in planning. What are the steps actually? Okay. First steps establishing verifiable goals or sets goals to be achieved. First, what is to be done? We should know that things. What is to be done? Then how it can be done? We can plan that things. The first step of planning is to determine the objectives. First, if you want to write a projects report, first you have to find about objectives. What I call these are set by upper level managers because goals should be very clear. This is a first step in planning. Establishing verifiable goals. Goals should be achievable. That one goals, one book is there by Brent Tracy. Without fail, you should read that things. There he clearly says goals should be specific, measurable, okay, achievable, like this way. Next one is these headings you should know. If they are these steps of planning, these headings our valuation scheme contains. So if matches with the valuation scheme, you will get a good marks. So first thing is establishing a verifiable goals, and set of goals, objectives to be achieved. You have to write the things. Next one is establishing a planning premises. This is the second step in planning, which involves establishing planning premises, that is, the conditions under which planning activities will be undertaken. Planning premises are planning assumptions, the expected environmental to be undertaken. Planning premises are planning assumptions, the expected environmental factors and informations regarding to future, such as general economic conditions, population trends, competitive behaviors, etc. The planning premises can be classified as this. Again, I can divide this planning premises in three parts. First one is internal, external premises. Next one is tangible and intangible. Last one is controllable and non-controllable. First one is internal and external premises. Premises may exist within or outside the company. What I call premises is clear to you. Premises is nothing but assumptions. Internal premises includes what I call sales, forecast, ability of the organizations in the form of machines, methods of design. It all comes internal. While external premises exist outside the enterprise and include general businesses, economic environment, technical changes, government policies and regulatories, etc. Next one is tangible and intangible premises. Tangible premises are those which can be what I call quantified. They include population quantified, growth, population growth, industry demand, capital resources invested. Should be very specific. Capital, how much amount in your pocket? In an interview, they ask sometimes question HR round. How much amount in your pocket? You should be able to do that things. Then only they will appoint you in finance companies and all. So how much exact figure should be required? It's called tangible. Okay. Next, what is next thing is also there. On other hand, political stability, sociological practice, attitudes and behaviors. These are all intangible, I'll call non-tangible premises. Next, controllable and non-controllable premises. Some of the planning premises are controllable and others are non-controllable. Some examples of non-controllable practice are like strikes. We cannot control wars. Okay, what I call calamity. These things, all these things, presences of non-controllable practice. Organizations have to revise plans periodically in accordance with the current development. The controllable practices are available in resources, skills of managers, laborers, etc. Please, dear students, please note down these points, write and practice it, because this is an evaluation scheme. According to it, you have to write it. Next point is deciding the planning period. Even content what do you write in management engineering subject, they won't read. They will only observe the evaluation scheme. They will final examination evaluation time. They will observe the key points. If it is matching with that key points, you will get full marks. Suppose if it is not matching, you won't get a marks. So what I call just by heart or remember these key points. I will give you when college starts. I'll give you one or two evaluation schemes. So you will identify. Even though for 10 marks question, if you write something in your own words, you will get 2 or 3 marks. Without knowing anything, if you write something else, you can get 2 or 3 marks. But if you write point wise, you will get minimum 8 out of 10. Next point is deciding the planning period. Time bond goal. When they make a goal sheet, you have to, they will ask a deadline. This project has to be completed within this year. So deciding the planning period is one of the very important thing. Once the long term objectives planning premises are decided, the next task is to decide the period of the plan. Some plans made year, for example, why I am telling this point, 1 year it should be completed project. So you should be able to make the monthly plans. You should be able to make the divide it and make the weekly plans, then daily plans, daily what to do, like that way. Then identification of alternatives. One of the very important point is planning identification of alternatives. Suppose, for example, this plan fails. Okay, this plan fails. For example, I am traveling from Honna Bhatkal to Kumta. Okay, or now some problem happens, accident happens, some problem happened, and road has stopped. Road has blocked. I should know another road to go. So planning should contain these things also. Identifying alternatives. You just find out the alternatives. Diversification may point out the possibilities of entering into one of the several fields. Next point is evaluation and selection of alternatives. Okay. Once the alternatives are identified, the next step is to evaluate the alternatives in the promises and goals to select the best, because best in the sense the cost and all, which is cost effective and all. Then developing a derivative supportive plans. Once the plan is selected, the various plans are derived, so it supports the main plan. For example, you are studying for your main plan is to join a MNC. You will study, you will achieve good marks. This is one planning. Second planning, aptitude also you will study, or some other internship also you will do. So all these things definitely will help you. Same way, this is called developing alternative supportive plans, which will help you to reach your goals. The derivative may be planning for what I call buying equipment, buying raw materials, etc. in companies. These derivative plans are formulated out of the main plan. Next one, last one is measuring the controlling the process. One should not allow plan to run on its own without monitoring its progress. Manager need to check the progress of the plannings. So measuring and controlling the process is one of the very important thing. Next class I will give you some questions you have to answer, and I will I will make some small quiz also. Wish you all the best. Study well. Best of luck.